Good afternoon. I'm an 8th grade student of 34 school Asanta Imanov, Nұрлан Меруерт. Today I'm going to present a presentation about my future profession, psychologist. Who is a psychologist? Psychologist is an expert who knows what is the human psyche and how it develops, what happens in a person's soul in a given age period, how to effectively communicate with other people, and how to create a family, raise children, and etc. For me, I want to be a psychologist since I was a kid because this profession always inspired me, and I want to help people mentally and find out their inner world. The name of ancient Greek is the myth of the mortal woman Psyche, who is an effort to meet her beloved, but she becomes immortal. Psyche is a symbol of soul seeking its ideal. The term psy, approved from ancient Greek word psyche, soul, and logos, meaning mind. That's why the Latin letter psi began to use a lot of psychology. Psychology is a specialist in the field of who studies the state of mind and the laws of correcting human behavior, using this knowledge to assist in solving personal problems, adapting to the world, improving psychological climate in families and communities. The official date for the emergence of psychology was assigned in 1879, the opening of the first psychology laboratory in Leipzig by William Wundt. Later, similar laboratories and schools were opened in other countries. Interesting fact about psychology. Psychology was formed from foundations such as science and astronomy, philosophy, and occult sciences. The first representatives of healers of souls can be called healers, sorcerers, shamans. The positive effect of their treatment came to a greater extent from the power of suggestions that from the use therapy agents, and only in the 18th century that first attempts were made to scientifically substance their influence on human. The main activity of psychologists is to study individual characteristics of the human psyche with the help of the tests, experiments, observation, and interviews. The main activities of psychologists, like being consoling and confidential, communicate between psychologists and clients to find ways to solve their problem. Psychology training is active training in ways to emotional self-regulation, problem solving, and personal growth through psychological games and exercise, followed by discussion of the results. Notable psychologists. There's a lot notable psychologists in our time, so the people who built the psychological fundament is William James, Wilhelm Wundt, Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, and etc. The main important qualities of being psychologist is not only being tolerant to each other, it's also high general and emotional intelligence, the ability to listen carefully and hear person, tolerance, empathy and resilience, tact, responsibility, observation, emotion stability, optimism and self-confidence, and also creativity. Pros and the cons of profession. Pros of profession is interesting creative work, the opportunity to take part in solving real problems of people, the need for continuum professional improvement, and in regard the possibility of personal growth, the ability to use professional knowledge in everyday life, knowledge and change of oneself, one attitude, and the events of the world around. And the cons of profession, it's mental fatigue, emotional burnout, difficulty in accept the client's worldview, and striving to give useful advice without fail, experiencing the client's problems as they own private companies or psychological counseling, educational and medicational institutions, commercial companies and non-psychologist enterprises, and also hotlines. Nowadays, since professional psychology is in demand in our society and also in our country, there is a lot of universities of this profession, such as Kaynar Academy, Al-Farabi, Kazakh National University, and Kazgu University, and etc. The psychologist is a demand in the modern world. Also, psychologists have a lot of ways to create their own selves, like being a child psychologist, being sports psychologist, military psychologist, medical psychologist, and etc. In this profession, career growth opportunities mainly come down to professional development, which allows you to become a sought after and highly paid specialist. You can create your own business aimed at providing psychological service. In order to work at high professional level and constantly in demand in the labor market, fundamental education is not enough. It is necessary to regularly take additional advanced training courses and learn various methods of psychological diagnosis and non-medical psychotherapy. Demand for the service of psychologists has been growing rapidly over the past decade. People who have problems from school, family, suffering from inadequate love, stress, and etc. Always needed qualified help, 100%. So it's really cool that my future profession is needed in our time.